देव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्यत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Hare Krishna. Today we shall continue our reading and discussion from Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, entitled The Withdrawal of the Cosmic Creations, Chapter 1, entitled The Manus, Administrators of the Universe, and today we will discuss text number 19. Please repeat after me. स्वारोचिषो द्वितीयस्तु मनुरग्ने सुतो भवत् द्युमत् सुषेण रोचिष्मत् प्रमुखास्तस्य चात्मजाः। स्वारोचिषो द्वितीयस्तु मनुरग्नेः सुतो भवत् द्युमत् सुषेण रोचिष्मत् प्रमुखास्तस्य चात्मजाः। स्वारोचिषो द्वितीयस्तु मनुरग्नेः सुतो भवत् द्युमत् सुषेण रोचिष्मत् प्रमुखास्तस्य चात्मजाः। स्वारोचिषो द्वितीयस्तु स्वारोचिषो द्वितीयस्तु मनुरग्नेः सुतो भवत् द्युमत् सुषेण रोचिष्मत् प्रमुखास्तस्य चात्मजाः। माताजी, स्वारोचिषो द्वितीयस्तु मनुरग्नेः सुतो भवत् द्युमत् सुषेण रोचिष्मत् प्रमुखास्तस्य चात्मजाः। Word for word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Shri Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please repeat after me. Swarochishaha. Swarochish. Dvitiyaha. The second. Tu. Indeed. Manuhu. Manu. Agnehe. Of Agni. Sutaha. The son. Abhavat. Became. Jumat. Jumat. Sushena. Sushena. Rochishmat. Rochishmat, Pramukhaha, beginning with them, Tasya, of him, Swarochisha, Cha, also, Atmajaha, sons. Translation: the son of Agni, named Swarochish, became the second Manu. His several sons were headed by Dyumat, Sushena, and Rochishmat. Purport: Manvantaram Manurdeva Manuputraha Sureshwaraha Rishayo Amshaavatarascha Hare Shadvidham Uchyate. There are many incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Manu, the Manu Putra, the sons of Manu, the king of the heavenly planets, and the seven great sages are all partial incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Manu himself, his sons Priyavrata and Uttanpad, the demigods created by Daksha, and the rishis like Marichi were all partial incarnations of the Lord during the reign of Swayambhu Manu. During that time, the incarnation of the Lord as Yajna took charge of ruling the heavenly planets. The next Manu was Swarochisha. The Manus and the sages and demigods are further described in the following 11 verses. So, before beginning to speak anything on this transcendental subject matter, I feel utterly disqualified to do this service. So, I humbly beg for the blessings, for the mercy of all the assembled devotees, so that I can speak something for my own purification. I am very apologetic to all the devotees for my delay in arriving for the class. स्वारोचिषो द्वितीयस्तु मनुर अग्नेः सुतो अभवत् द्युमत् सुषेण रोचिष्मत् प्रमुखास्तस्य चात्मजः. So this whole 8th canto is about Manvantara, the reign of different Manus. So as such, the followers of spiritual life, they are not very much interested in administration, management and politics, who became the ruler, and who was his team, what was his team, and all those things. But why it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam? The reason is because in all these Manvantaras, there are different pastimes enacted by the Supreme Lord with his devotees. So that is why all this description is there. Otherwise, during his last 7 days, why Parikshit Maharaj would try to get general knowledge, or Shukdev Goswami would give general knowledge to him? This was the first emperor, this next ruler, sultanate or whatever. So that is not the purpose. This Srimad Bhagavatam, Tadvag Visargo Janatag Viplavo Yasmin Pratishlokam Abadvatyapi Namani Anantasya Yashonkitaniyat Shrinvanti Gayanti Grinanti Sa. So this Srimad Bhagavatam actually is full of the glories of the holy name of the unlimited Supreme Lord. Namani Anantasya Yashonkitaniya. So there is nothing but the glorification of Lord in Srimad Bhagavatam. So it may seem little mundane that why we are speaking the names like Dyumat, Sushena, Rochishmat and Swarochishamanu. Why we need to know all these names and why we are repeating these shlokas. But Srila Prabhupada says that whatever is in relation with the Supreme Lord, that also is spiritual. It is not that only, of course we chant the holy name of the Lord. We don't chant every day these names, but because this is also in relation with the Supreme Lord. So that also becomes absolute. Srila Prabhupada gives the example that in Bhagavad Gita first chapter also so many names are mentioned. So, but if we recite that, if we read that, that also is on the absolute platform. It is not mundane. So we should not see in that way. And different Manus, like in one day of Brahma, which is 1000 cycles of Chaturyuga. It's 12 hours of Brahma. And within these 12 hours, there are 14 Manus. So, so much change. And so, this material world is an arrangement for the living entities which want to enjoy separately from Krishna. Otherwise, there is Krishna who is in the center of the spiritual world and all the surrounded by all the living entities who want to serve Krishna. But some living entities, because of their desire to enjoy separately from Krishna, this material world is created to give them a facility. Just like a prison house is there to reform the perverted mentality of people. Some people they become criminals. They are not obedient to the laws of the state. So a prison house is created. So similarly, this material world is a prison house. And in the spiritual world, the living entities cannot become enjoyers. They are servants. But in the material world, this illusory conception of being the enjoyer, being the master, can be, because this is a place of illusion, although it can never happen in the material world also, but at least the living entities can maintain that illusion in this material world. In the spiritual world, there is no place for illusion. So, because this material world is full of illusion, otherwise, how we can become master? We can never become master. We are not masters. So that is why there are so many problems in this material world. We can imagine if a place is full of illusions, there will be so many bewilderments, so many mistakes, so many problems, so many wrong actions will be there. And that is why there is a need for management. Very proper management is needed. And this whole structure is a part of management. So Lord Brahma is there, who is the master of the universe. Then during his whole lifetime, every day, 14 Manus come. So much. And then with these Manus, like here it is mentioned, it is similar to the current political administration, like in India also it is there. If a new ruling party comes, then the prime minister comes, the chief minister comes, and along with him his own cabinet of ministers come. And when the next person comes as the chief minister or prime minister, the whole team changes. The cabinet of ministers, their secretaries, IAS officers, administrators, everyone changes. So this is how it is here also. So in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. So Srila Prabhupada gives a calculation that in 1 year of Brahma, how many Manus will be there in one lifetime. I think in one lifetime about 5 lakh Manus are there. The different people, so Brahma has so much experience, like one person, then next person, then next person, like that. And this Brahma, we should remember, is just the master of one such universe out of trillions and trillions of universes which are coming from the transcendental body of Mahavishnu. Just like bubbles come from the pores of air. And these bubbles are coming at every breath. Every time he is inhaling and exhaling, so many universes are coming. In so many universes, so many Brahmas are there. In the lifetime of one Brahma, so many Manus are there. So we can imagine. It may seem like a very, very long time of administration. This Manu is there for, I think, some 4 billion years. One Manu is there. It may seem like a very, very long period of administration. But actually, it's nothing. So in the material world, whatever position, whatever power we get, actually it is very temporary. It does not last for long time. And that is why the intelligent consideration is that we should try to utilize it for serving the Supreme Lord and His devotees. That should be the goal. Generally, power comes, like it brings a lot of name, fame, adoration, worship, so many things come. And that is why in the material world, everyone wants to get power, position. And there's a lot of competition, there are limited seats, and people compete with each other to get that power, that position of prestige. But actually, we can see like even the position of Manu, that is also not permanent. Like Srila Prabhupada mentioned in one of the previous verses that, and many other places also, that these are just positions. Whatever like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Surya, Agni, whatever is there. These are just positions. These are not permanent individuals that, for all time they will be there. Now one person is there who because of his pious activities, whatever things he has done, he has become Surya or he has become Indra or Varuna. Then some next person will become, then next person, then next person like that. So it will be constantly changing. So we should consider that whenever we get some position of responsibility, then we should try to utilize in the best possible way to serve the devotees and serve the Supreme Lord. The illusion in the material world causes us to feel that we are masters, we are the owners, we are the proprietors of this position. This position actually, we deserve this, it belongs to us. And we are the best for this. If if someone else will do this, he will spoil the whole show. So I know everything. I have been involved for a very, very long time. And if I just uh, allow someone else to take charge, then he will spoil the whole thing. If I am not there, then the whole thing will be ruined. So Srila Prabhupada mentions this point and he says that, even so many politicians, they don't want to give up their seat unless they die. He gives example of former Prime Minister of India. Till he left his body, he was not willing to leave the seat because they think that the moment I am gone, the whole thing will go. Srila Prabhupada even advised, suggested Mahatma Gandhi that now India has become free, independence, you have got independence, you have made the country independent. Now you spend your time for preaching the glories of Bhagavad Gita. You are so much respected all over the world. But Srila Prabhupada mentions that his thinking, Mahatma Gandhi's thinking was that if I am not there, then the whole thing will be spoiled. But we can see, like so many people have come, so many people have gone, but still the show is running, right? So, as devotees, we should always try to maintain the right consciousness, maintain the right understanding that actually whatever is happening is by the arrangement of the Supreme Lord, and even whatever talents we have got, they are not actually our property. प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणै कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढ़ात्मा कर्ता हमिति मन्यते. Living entity which is bewildered, befooled by the false ego, by the influence of false ego, considers that I am the doer of whatever is happening. जय श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन ललिता देवी विशाखा देवी सखी वृंद की जय. श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम गिरिराज गोवर्धन भगवान की जय. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन की जय. पतित पावन श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय. श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय. प्रहलाद महाराज की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. So it is not because of our own some credit that something we are able to do something, but it is just an arrangement of the modes of material nature. They are all the activities karmani sarvashah, all the activities are happening actually by the influence of the modes of material nature. So it is not our credit, and everything has been created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarva karan karanam. So the only opportunity we have is to engage everything for the pleasure of the Lord. Whatever way we can utilize this opportunity to serve the Lord, that will be our credit. And For proper management, lot of responsible, uh, high character people are needed. Like all these Manus are there. They are not ordinary people. Hmm? He is the son of Agni Dev, and all these personalities. Further, also it is mentioned that who was one of the seven rishis, and it will be mentioned in the further classes. So they were so exalted that even the Supreme Lord took birth as their son. They were not ordinary people. So when these kind of very very responsible, very capable uh, individuals having a very high character, they are there, then the management runs very very smoothly. So for proper management, these kind of individuals are required. So it is important to have good management. We cannot say that it is mundane, although in their first meeting, when Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur instructed Srila Prabhupada to spread Krishna consciousness, especially in the Western world. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned his reservation that no, we are a dependent nation, we are a predominated nation, and who will listen to us? Who will take our message seriously? They will say, you first make your country independent, then you talk big, big things. What is right, what is wrong, like that. So, but Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentioned that, like we cannot wait for any political situation, like now it is unfavorable, then it will become favorable. That is a fact. For preaching, like preaching or practicing Krishna consciousness, it cannot stop because the political situation is not favorable. But at the same time, a favorable political situation is always good for practicing and preaching Krishna consciousness. So that also is there. So that is why good management is needed. Like all these Manus, they are very qualified. And the Supreme Lord also shows this by his own behavior. Like suppose Hiranyakashipu comes and he becomes the ruler of the heavenly planets, or he takes charge. Then what will happen? It is not a good administration, not good management. Then the Lord comes himself and he has to correct the things like that. So a good responsible management is always needed, is always good, is always desirable. Even we have seen like so many religions in the history of the world, they have actually spread because of strong political support, be it Islam or Christianity. you know, Big big religions they have spread, even Buddhism and Jainism. A lot of like their success was because of strong political support. So it is not that we have to stop our preaching work and get into like make our first focus as making the political situation perfect, but at the same time if it is favorable, then it is helpful. So the management of this whole universe is run very 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 effectively because these great personalities are there, about whom the description is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srila Prabhupada has quoted this verse in the purport: Manvantaram Manurdeva Manu Putra Sureshwaraha Rishayo Amshavatarascha Hare Shadvidham Uchyate. So in every Manvantar there's a new Manu, uh, there are new Manuputra, then Sureshwara, the king of heavenly planets, Rishayo, the sages, the seven, mainly the Saptarishis, and Amshavatara, there is Amshavatara, Hare Shadvidham Uchyate. So all these are actually partial incarnations of the Lord. Even Manu is a partial incarnation of the Lord. In I think one verse in first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in purport, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that all these Manus are actually partial incarnations of the Manvantar avatar during that Manvantar. Like that. Say Vivaswan, Vivaswat Manu, who is the son of sun god, Vivaswan. Actually, Vivaswat Manu is a partial incarnation of Vamandev. Like that it is mentioned. So like that, in every Manvantara, whoever is the uh, Manvantara incarnation of the Lord, all these, Manus, their sons also, the Indra and the seven great sages also, they are partial incarnations of the Lord. So in the coming verses, further description about who in this particular Manvantara were the different position holders, it will be mentioned. And subsequently in further Manvantaras, who all were there, that will also be mentioned. So we should take advantage of all these descriptions to learn the right lessons. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of practical examples of how we can apply the principles which are taught in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, we don't see pastimes and stories coming. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many instructive stories and they are facts, historical facts. And by meditating on them, by reading, by hearing, we can develop the right consciousness. So these much thoughts I could get by reading this purport. If anyone has any comments, corrections, questions, then they are most welcome. Brajan Krishna. ये पूछे थे ना? I forgot what is. We can get purified, we can get benefit. Thank you, Brajan Kishore, for our clear understanding. He is asking to set Adarsh example. So, Brajan Kishore's point is that it is told to us that you cultivate mode of goodness, and when you become situated in mode of goodness, then you will get a lot of interest in reading Srimad Bhagavatam, practicing devotional life. And we do feel like that. When we feel that we are situated in mode of goodness, then we feel interested in devotional activities. And those who are in mode of passion and ignorance, they are not so interested. But we see in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is description about great Rajarshis, Manus, and the king of heavenly planets and all those people. But they are not so interested in devotional service. Although they know who is Lord Brahma, who is Lord Shiva, who is Lord Vishnu, they have faith also in their position and everything. But they are not so interested. So what is the reason? So as Prabhu mentioned, he wants us to understand. This is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, different places, especially in fifth canto. It is mentioned that the demigods, they are actually praying. They are singing in this way, the demigods. So what they are singing? They are singing, oh, these human beings. hmm? And for anyway, so they are singing, these human beings, they are so fortunate. Like they have taken birth in this Bharat Varsha and they are worshipping, they have got this Mukund Sevo Paikam Sprihahina. They are getting this wonderful opportunity to serve the Supreme Personality of God. So, if demigods are appreciating human beings that they have got such a nice opportunity, then do they not want that opportunity? No, they want. They are saying, Ispriha, we desire that we get this kind of opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord. So, who is stopping you from serving the Lord? Are demons stopping you or what? No, you are there in the heavenly planet and everything is there. So, they are giving the answer. Uh, If somebody remembers the verse, they can remind me. I'm just not getting the exact verses, but it says basically that we have got so much facility. Atishay Indriya Utsavat. Nayatra Narayana Pad Pankaj Smriti Atishay Indriya Utsavat. Because we have got such Indriya Utsav is going on. Like this festival of sense gratification. So much facility, everything is nice. Your health is nice, the weather is always nice, everything is nice. So we can't uh, think of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead like that. So that is the difficulty of these personalities, that everything there is perfect. And that is our great fortune. We are born in Kali Yuga. The whole place is full of people having a very very perverted mentality, and like seasons, weather, everything is unfavorable actually, materially. So that materially unfavorable situation brings us closer to surrendering to the Supreme Personality of God. So to a certain extent I try to then you can also thank you so much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद